Yeah. So, Rachel, thank you for tapping in with me for my third episode of Check-In.
Lucky number 3.
So the whole thing is basically me calling, checking on people, saying how they're doing. We're having conversations about just like creating over the last year in a fucking pandemic, how you've handled it mentally, creatively, and just like what the fuck you're up to with your brand and everything.
Well,
so I always want to start with how we met, because I think that connections and how people meet, I'm a firm believer of we all meet each other for a reason. Like, no matter who it is, you meet someone in your life, they become part of your life, friends, whatever, for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Like with us, like we met randomly. You don't remember, but I was drunk still. I was hungover as fuck. I could barely stand up. We met, you, me, and Barnesy. We went to the Supervision pop-up at the Dom Gallery space.
Oh, the Supervision pop-up. I met you guys there because Gavin told me to come to that.
Yeah, that's and we were just talking about like fashion and shit, just having regular conversation. And I remember I was like sitting down on something, and I turned and I saw like the side of you. I was like, oh shit, she has a Montreal Canadiens tattoo. Like, she's cool as fuck. Like, I don't care like what you ever do to say you are always gonna be cool to me because you have that tattoo, because that's my favorite hockey team.
Yeah, and I probably was like talking shit like I normally do, because everybody, like one of my old coworkers, this is a little side story, but my old coworker Ian, like we're still great friends, but we worked at Stone Island together. And on his first day, like his impression of me on the first day was like, well, the way that we do stuff around here is different. And like, and I'm like talking to like, I've been asking a lot of my friends, like, what was your first impression of me or whatever? And like, one of my friends was like, you're just kind of like, you come off so bitchy, but you're never really trying to be a bitch. You're like the nicest person ever, but like how you like talk about things, like you just come off so like high and mighty. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I'm a have resting bitch face all the time, and I didn't even know it.
No, you seem mad cool to me. You're like super friendly, because Barnesy was like taking pictures, and we were just shooting the shit, just like talking, becoming friends, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, having a great time. Okay, so creatively, like, what have I been doing during quarantine?
Yeah, but I want to start with like I'm gonna start off like just who you are and like your background.
Oh, my background. Okay, well.
What up that you at Stone Island? You're at Kith now, so like.
I've been in retail for about what feels like 1,000 years. Like what?
I have a
what feels like 1,000 years? That was like my mind.
Where the fuck did you start? And like,
I started like after I graduated high school, which was a long time ago, and we're not gonna expose my age on here. But I went to hair school.
Are you originally from Louisville or?
Born in Louisville, raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. So like 50-50. Yeah. But I originally went to hair school. I broke my wrist. I was supposed to work at this like really nice ass salon in like New York. Mm-hmm. And I like signed a contract and everything, and then broke my wrist and was like, oh, I'm not meant to do this. Because my parents wouldn't let me go to college out of state because they didn't want to pay for out of state college, whatever. They didn't want me to leave. It's the whole thing. So I did that. I ended up like visiting California a couple times. I got a job in California. That's why I moved out here. I was doing post-production, like color correction for feature films. Was working for this company called Company 3. So it's like, it was at the time, like one of the biggest like post-production companies. Like we did everybody, like Tony Scott, like you name a director, whatever, I've probably met them. I've probably worked with them. Wow. So I did that. Huh?
What did you go to school for?
Well, I just went to hair school. I just got a random job and then like worked my way up with the company. Well, not a random job, but I got that job and then like worked my way up with the company. And then I was like, my dad got cancer. I needed to move home for a year to like help my family out. So I moved home and I was like kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in fashion. So I moved to New York. And then in New York, I was there for 2 years. I worked for G-Star. Like my first retail job was actually Diesel in 2007 in California while I was working for the post-production company. And then my second retail job was G-Star. And then I went from G-Star to APC, and then from APC to Giorgio Armani, and then worked with the international buyer for Giorgio Armani for a little bit. And then she really like pushed me to like look into schools because I wanted to go to school because I've been like making patterns everything since like 8. Like my mom used to like make me take sewing classes and stuff. So I've been doing that shit for my whole life, but I didn't know, like I was looking at different schools and I was like, I want to go to a school where it's like, I don't want to go just to design school because I think that that's a waste of a degree. Because I think you can design from any, like, I don't think that you need just the design education. Like you need a more like balanced education. So that's why I decided to go to FITM. I went to FITM for product development. When I moved back out to California, God, I worked for Reese. It's like a British brand. And then I helped open one of the first Sandro stores like in the US. And then I did wholesale for like a year and a half on and off. And then when I was in New York, I was like styling too, like just kind of did like more editorial styling, but like just did all of that, went to wholesale, then went to Sandro, then went back to the wholesale gig, and then went to Stone Island. I met my business partner at Stone and was fortunate enough to be able to get money to produce an 8-product collection and live and concentrate on that for a year, while also like helping I helped consult for one of his friends as well. So it was kind of like I was doing like 2 different jobs during that time. And then while I was at Stone, I met Ronnie. And that's basically like the year that I was like doing my own shit. I got a message from my old manager from Stone, and he was like, okay, like Kith is opening, and I like didn't know anything about Kith. Don't tell anybody that. But I'm like, actually, you can put that in here. I don't care. I didn't know shit about Kith. I was like more undefeated union.
Exactly.
Like didn't really like the quality of the Kith stuff, like whatever. And then I got offered a job and took the job because I was running low on funds. So I've been with Kith for 3 years in February.
So what do you do at Kith?
I'm the visual manager and the assistant store director. But I help our buyers with our buys like for the West Coast as well. I mean, so I have like 3, 2 jobs, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 jobs at Kith.
How's Kith been treating you it's set for 3 years now? Like, how do you like it? Have you seen how? I'm gonna actually ask you.
How have they treated me?
Like,
are we exposing them right now, or?
Forget that question. We'll talk about it later. What I actually will ask you is, with being at Kith now for a few years, what do you think of how the landscape of the streetwear industry has changed when it comes to the retail side, and seeing a brand like Kith go from being a brand, having the stores, and really having the stores take off and do very, very well, and almost it seems like the stores are really carrying it, but there's just so many collaborations and everything with it in its time. So like, how do you what's your viewpoint on how the landscape and how its trajectory has gone for not only Kith but just like brands like Kith?
I mean, honestly, like, so we're going on year 3. comparing it to like Stone, because that's the only other like streetwear, like because I've mostly worked luxury, like more luxury. That's like the only other like street sort of brand that I've like worked for. But I feel like, I mean, comparing Stone to Kith as far as like traffic, like that sort of thing, like it just um it wasn't like comparable for me. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm so busy all the time. Like Stone's like more clienteling. Like I had my clients, it was good. Like, but it was more like you're bringing the people in, and Kith is just like, I mean, it's different now because like Stone's, had the presence for like 4 or 5 years, a US presence. So we were like we were the first US store. Like Stone was the first US store we opened. So they didn't, like, it wasn't expected to be like, no one knew about the brand. Like it was like we had that Drake collab while I was there, like at Stone. So that was like what really put Stone into that like streetwear sort of situation. And then like Kith, it just was like boop 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 boop. So I like, it's just you hit the ground running. Like I always tell people like Kith years, like it's like 1 year at Kith is like 7 years anywhere else because of the collabs, because of what you're doing. I feel like I feel very grateful. Like I think that it's been like a good experience. Um, and I think it's like provided me, with a lot of good connections. And I think that like the landscape for how retail is going to be in the future, like Kith is a good like point for that. Like as far as streetwear and design, like high end and high fashion like coming together, I think it's like more moving towards like that realm. And I think that Kith as a brand is trying to also like move more into a more elevated, more conscious like brand as well. So I feel like that's where I see the market going. And being on the ground, like it's nice because like as a designer and doing my own thing, I know what people actually, well, I think I know what people actually want. And
yeah, we definitely
think. I think it's like, more in, I think people are just like starting to, like, in the industry as a whole, are starting to care more about what the companies are doing for social justice, how many, like helping build like Black brands, which I think is, how I feel about like all of that, and how I think that that's important. And I think that brands now, which it shouldn't have taken this fucking long, but I think that brands are starting to navigate and like do things differently. Sorry. But I think that is like having, like, this whole year is like definitely having an effect on business and how to propel business, and like how to, like, not like monetary for us, but how to make sure that we're continuing to support Black designers and Black artists. And like I think that hopefully the industry and companies that are starting now or that have already started, I'm unpacking all my shits right there. I'm like from like 4 days ago. I'm like, don't show that to anybody. But like I think that people are starting to be more socially conscious, and I think more environmentally conscious, and I think brands are really feeling that this year. And I think that moving forward, more brands are not, like, more brands are going to get put on blast about things they are or aren't doing. So I think it's like more like, for brands, it's more meaningful. Like now you have to, like, you need to be diverse. You need to have like everything going for you. You need to have like, your brand has to be a brand. It can't just like, you have to have a purpose. I guess that's what, like, I feel like a lot of people feel in the retail landscape.
It seems like now is a time for brands to really focus on their foundation, their meaning. It can no longer just be like, oh, it's a lifestyle, because yeah, okay, streetwear and shit is a lifestyle. Yeah, everyone loves clothes, sneakers, whatever. but what's your brand about? What's the story that you're telling? Like, what's the
Yeah.
narrative? What does do your pieces have meaning inside of this? Is it an ongoing story? Like, what are you actually saying?
What are you doing to give back? Like, what are you doing to actually make an impact on the world? And I think that that is.
And like the people behind the brands too have to be like, you know, it has to be people that you really fuck with and believe in what they're doing, not just for the brand wise, but just in themselves. Like, I'm probably not gonna fuck with a brand if I don't like that person in just a general sense. So if I think you're a shit person, man, like, like
I had a Clubhouse chat, or that Clubhouse chat. Did I tell you the Clubhouse chat I was in when everyone found out that Jerry was going to Adidas?
No.
So I was in a Clubhouse chat and got to speak and ask a question, which I shouldn't have. Well, no, I should have, but like it might not have been good for me. But like I got to like Kirby from Pure Moss and Jerry were in there, and so like they were speaking on like what, like, do you follow the creative? Are you loyal to a brand? Are you loyal to creatives? Like what what is it like? And I think it's like more being like loyal to a creative. Like you need to be loyal to creatives. Like I fuck with Jerry's messaging, I fuck with Kirby's messaging. Like I support them because what of they're doing for the culture that I am in because of, you know, who I work for and what I do. And so it's like I do look up to those people as like mentors, and like I do want to base my brand like I do. I look at them and I'm like, that's like how I want to be building my brand as well, because I just feel like those are like, I have the same values. And so for me, supporting people and creatives that have the same values as me is important. And I don't know. I just think that that's kind of where like everything's going.
Yeah, it really comes down to just like ethics and morals, as you said. That's why I feel like, you know, I'm a big fan of Joe Freshgoods. Like the way that he's been able to build his brand and do it very and staying true to Chicago and who he is, but also giving back at the same time. It's very meaningful. You don't see a lot of brands do that. You see brands would just be brands and just put out product and shit. And you're just like, oh, but like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? You know, those people are the fucking like epitome of building your brands, give back, stay true to who you are, and just build real foundations to things. And I think it's what a lot of people should be looking up to. And it's unfortunate that like now it's all like about the black designer and everything, because it's like people have been doing this shit for a minute, but I love that people are seeing it and really want to like blow it up, but at the same time it's like, man, but look what these people are doing. It's not that they're black, but they're doing things for the community and the people around.
Like, well, too, I think that white designers need to be called out on what the lack of what they're doing too.
Yeah.
Like honestly.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, like fucking be equal about shit. Like same thing for like women in streetwear. Like there's a lot of cool, well, I don't really know any women designers besides myself. Oh, I have to watch this football game. I don't know a lot of like women, like I know like local European, like I know some like streetwear, but they're all just like women designed stuff, you know? It's not like people trying to do men's design or whatever. And I think that that's where like the whole industry is like lacking.
What game are you watching right now? What game are you watching?
The Arizona Cardinals versus the Rams.
Where does your loyalty lie in football? Because I feel like you have like 8 football teams that you cheer on. Do you just have like homies on all these teams that you want to see them do well, or like what?
The Rams and the Cardinals. Yeah. I have friends on every team. That's why. No, I don't. I don't have any friends that play for the Ravens or the Eagles. Okay. Or there's probably like 20 other teams. There's only like 5 teams that I really have friends on. Yeah. So it's like the Vikings, a lot of friends. Okay. Vikings, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs. I think that that's it. Titans. Okay. Titans. Right. Yeah, that's it. But a lot of them I know, like, it's just because a lot of them hang out with each other and stuff too. It's like, and then I got put in the mix of being a friend.
Yeah, homies are homies and shit. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So damn, you said you don't know any other like female designers and shit. Because I was gonna ask you about that. Like, do you have like a fucking clique? Do you guys meet up and do all that shit like design? Because me, like when I was talking to Lindsay, I was I was talking to her when we first met. I was talking to her how about this PR field and things being male dominant, male driven.
Everything is in the whole world.
Right. But me, I fuck with the women behind shit more because I think they have a higher work ethic. They're more driven.
And they're
versus a lot of dudes is ego based shit.
And they can multitask.
Right.
And men can't. Like, first of all, that's a stigma we need to like, okay, does it make sense that I'm the only person at my store that does 2 jobs? Well, basically, like, I would say more than 2, but like 2, why? And then I'm like, definitely underpaid. Cut that out too. Actually, don't cut that out. I don't care. I'm underpaid. I'm like, all of this is cut.
Know your worth. Know your worth.
So, no, I feel like a lot of the designers I know, I mean, like I don't know like Yoon Ambush, but like she's a good example, like Yoon. And then there's like local European, she's based out here, but she's just doing women's stuff. So I feel like, I don't really know women that are designing for men, and I don't know women that are trying to do unisex stuff. And I'm like basically mostly trying to do unisex stuff. So it's just like, I mean, it's hard. I have been talking to a lot of like guys that I know that design that are like more successful or that work like one of my homies works for Fear of God. He's the CFO. So like I've been asking his advice on stuff, and I've been asking the homie that has Kaiser Clark and my other homie that does Diet Starts Monday. So it's like I have these people that like I can like go to that are designers, you as well, like that I can go to as designers and like ask questions, but it's all men. It's all men. I don't know. I don't like have it I don't have any women that I like that I know personally where that I can go and like be like, what's your advice on this? Mm-hmm. But lately, so in quarantine, like, as you know, I released like those shirts I released in September. So that was like definitely 100% like what I was doing during quarantine, was like getting that together and kind of trying to figure out like what, like how I want to grow my brand and like what else I want to do. And now that the new year started, I've really been diving in with the people that I know, like, hey, like I want to take this shit to the next level. Like I'm done with this. Like I'm done. Like I
want to like move.
I need to grow my brand. Like oh my God, I need to like grow my brand, and I want to do it properly, and I want to do it right. And I know I don't know business, and I know design, and I know production, and I know fabrics, and I know what I'm strong at. And so like I'm looking for like in 2021, I'm looking for like a business partner, and I'm looking for investors, and I'm going to be doing that. And I'm like getting all my shit together, like my pitch deck. And I do have one woman mentor that works with me, but and she like I have someone who's going to be able to help me like get me to where I need to be, that believes in me and like knows that I need to be on a better path, and knows that like has always like she's known me for the past 5 years. Like she knows my brand, like on a business like relationship, like we've known each other for a while, and like she like sought out my brand. So like I know that like I'm in a good place this year to be able to find investment and be able to like really take this shit seriously. But it's for me, like this year it's realizing, okay, I know I can't do everything. I know I can't do it all. And so it's like, right? And so it's like figuring out what you need to do to get to that next like spot. So it's nice because I do like, I've also noticed that a lot of these menswear designers all come from money. or like women too. And so like that's the thing, like a real conversation I've been having with people is like, I don't mean to like be rude, but like, did you have someone give you money? Does your family have money, or did
Where did
you
your
have to
backing
find an
come from?
investment or a loan,
How
like
you
whatever?
like,
And you know, come to find out, it's like majority of these guys have had money. So it's like they've had money to like, not, I don't want to say waste, but like they've had money to be able to continue to produce stuff where it doesn't matter if you're like getting return on investment or not. And I'm like putting all my money into my shit.
and
So
that's
it's like,
that shit is always frustrating because it's like, damn, you know, look, getting it out the mud, for lack of better terms, is really putting your money into the shit. When you make money, it goes right back into it. So most of the time, you're not living or paying yourself from the shit because everything you make is going
yeah,
back into the fucking brand so you can make more and more stuff and continue to grow it. And to go back on the point that you made before, one of the hardest things that, you know, is part of this shit that I think that a lot of people don't realize is that when you're doing all this by yourself, you're not good at everything. Like there's parts of like for you the design and fabric and everything, but you like on the business side, where some people are really good on the business side, but then maybe it's not so great on the design side. And you may get a unicorn that's good at both, whatever. But the thing is, doing it by your fucking self is the hardest part, and then getting people to work with you that also believe in you, but also you can trust is also a hard
yeah,
thing because you don't want to just start working with somebody and then next thing you know, they have a whole fucking brand. That's all your shit. Like, a lot of that stuff, I think people just don't realize and they forget about because, you know, they see, oh, you're designing, you have your product.
yeah. People are always like, oh
Whatever.
my
It's like,
gosh, you
come
should be
on,
so
man.
proud of like where you, yeah, you should be so proud of where you are, like da 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 da. And I'm like, no, this isn't good enough.
Yeah,
Like
it's not.
I like,
Like,
yeah, I was able to get it on who I got it on. I had like a good little moment for a second, but like like
the numbers don't last.
if I had, but that doesn't last. And then it's like if I had more product, like I would be able to like seed, and that would help build engagement, and like that
Yeah,
does help. And it's so like people don't realize those things, like,
yeah,
and people that are at like certain levels too, they're like, I'm like, you doing something like that for me, it's a big thing because that puts like value on my brand.
yeah.
Like, so me giving you something for free
It's a huge
is
thing.
a huge thing.
And
So if I
people,
give you something for free and you don't post it,
like,
you
what the fuck?
motherfucker, especially
Yeah,
some, never
dude.
mind. I was
I
like, especially some of you men trying to get some.
well,
No.
like I know someone in New York that works for a well-known brand, but they also do things on the side, freelance and shit. We've met, linked up at Complex Con, keep in touch, whatever. Talked, she was like, "Oh yeah, like send me a bunch of stuff." It's like, "Cool." We talked about where I wanted the packages to go. Man, I sent her a fucking box. Like, yo, did you get the box? Yeah, yeah, I got it. Working. I'll see such and such on Sunday. Link up with them. This is the plan. I was like, all right, cool. It was like, yo, I got this whole newsletter thing. We're gonna put you in it, whatever. Yo, quiet, quiet, quiet. Reaching out. Don't hear shit. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm putting my money into this product, giving it to you for free because we've had this conversation about things that you could do for me. Now, if there is a cost in
Yeah.
that and you didn't say anything about it, that's on you because I understand
Well,
some of that shit does cost. It's not always going to be for free. But I've
yeah,
also
I've
been able to
gotten
have these
into,
relationships with people and they wear it and it's on some like, yo, we see you. Fucking keep going. Like, to dope. So, like, what the fuck? So, for us to give product and see people shit, it does take a lot out of what we have. But that also doesn't mean that people just be like, oh, what's up, homie? Like, yo, let me get some shirts.
let me get some.
No, bro.
I'm
Like,
like, do you know
what?
how much I spent on those
What?
shirts, producing them and making sure the fit was what you wanted it to be?
Come on.
Like, no, like, I mean, or yes, I will, but like, post it for me. Like, I had a whole, like, yeah, yeah, I've had a lot of conversations about that because I do know a lot of people and I do have stylist friends that can get things on people. And like, I have a great network, but it's like, you also like, I don't know, is it about at the end of the day, is it about the bottom dollar? Is it about like, I don't know. I think that that's like a big thing for me too, is why I'm like, I need an investment, because I do have the, like, I have the network. If I can make stuff and like
Get it out there.
gift it and be able to do that, like, why not, you know? But I can't do that on my own. I can't do that if it's all my money going in and no one else's. Like if I don't even have a partner that's like willing to do 50 on the cost, especially for my shit, because it's like luxury, you know? So like I have to price it where I'm pricing it, because that's where I want to be. And I know the quality is better than some of the brands that are going pay, like some of the brands that are doing a basic tea or whatever, or what, you know, for like $200.
Mhm.
Like
I know
quality's not there.
but the thing is that also when we know how much shit actually costs and why things in stores are at that retail price. We understand that. A lot of people don't understand that from a consumer level.
Yeah.
The only thing about that is when you find that product that does like $275 for a tea, like, oh, I know where this came from.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, so you're gonna buy, you're buying a Palm Angels, like a $300 t-shirt. That's definitely not the like my quality is 100% better than Palm Angels. Like I will put my life on that one. And it's like, you're willing to pay for that because it's like kind of cool now, but like you want to get a discount on my $150 shirt?
That
Nah.
shit pisses me off because it'll be like, yo, I know like this piece is a lot better than what is on the market in this area. And it should be priced what it is, and it should be priced higher. But like it's such it's such that era that we're in when it comes to like the hype era where everyone just wants the shit for the fucking name. So then
Hype,
like,
yeah.
okay, well it's this brand.
Or well, blah blah blah's been wearing it, so it's like, yeah.
It's so fucking annoying. I hate it. So yeah, let's talk more about Bad Decisions Adventure Club. Um, for anyone that watches this that doesn't know, that's your brand name. Do you want to talk about
We call it BDAC for short because Bad Decision Adventure Club is like too hard for everybody to say, I guess. Not you, not you, but like people are like, what is it? Bad decisions? And I'm like, bad decision. And they're like, bad, like just people, they're like, adventure what? And so anyways, I just say BDAC at this point in time, but we are a hemp-based unisex luxury streetwear brand. We've only had, huh?
I said when I
Swipe
go,
up.
put the information down here.
The website is welikebad.com.
Which I do like that.
Thank you. But I started it initially. So I said, I've been doing shit since I was like 8, like making patterns and all that sort of stuff. I knew I wanted to be in fashion. I wanted to be a supermodel, but I'm only 5'6¾", so that wasn't gonna work out.
I thought you were talking
for me. I'm like, that was not gonna work out for me. My parents didn't really believe in that dream for me. They wanted me to be a doctor. So so I really failed them, but I started it initially. I said I would never start a brand. And then I was like, I want to start a brand. But I decided that if I started a brand, it had to have like a philanthropic component to it, and I wanted to be eco-friendly. Like I want everything that I'm doing to help the environment, and the fashion industry is just so oversaturated with brands that don't care and are using like fabric, like cotton's like one of like cotton's just like a lot to produce. It takes a lot more water, it takes a lot more space. So it's just like using, which everybody uses cotton, right? So I'm trying to destigmatize like hemp being like hippy dippy shit. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to help with the environment. I'm giving back, and I'm trying to make everything as unisex as I can. I think moving forward, I'll have unisex pieces, but I'll also have stuff specifically for women, and probably like a few items that are unisex or more specific for men. And I'm going to do swimwear like 100%. Like I'm gonna try and at least get like 3 suits out hopefully before spring or summer. So for my first collection, we worked with this Skid Row Housing Trust, so we donated to them. And then our second collection, which has only been 1 shirt so far, but hopefully we'll get some more shit done this year, is we're donating to NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the Trayvon Martin Foundation. We're also going to be donating to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund or the NAACP like in general for the whole longevity of my brand, which is hopefully forever. Just because I feel very passionate about that, and I think that it's important to be helping with a systemic change. Like that's just a big important thing to me. And I've always like, if you talk to my parents, they'd be like, Rachel was like the most weird little empathetic child, because I was always just like, why can't, like, I don't know, like for everything I was like, why is that guy homeless? Like I don't get it. Like why can't he come and like shower at our place? Why can't you give him some of it? He looks like he's your size, Dad. Give him some of your clothes. Like, you know? So like I was always like that. And growing up, like predominantly like having a lot of like I would say like more friends that were Black than white. Like I was always like, Mom, why can't I be Black? Like, and she's like, Rachel, like you're privileged. Yeah. So like don't ever wish to be something that you're not, because you can't change it. Like, you know, my parents like definitely put me on like a very like on the right path, which I thank them for, but I'm very empathetic because of them as well. So I feel like anything that I want to do, I need to do it with a purpose. Otherwise, there's no point in me doing it. So that's why I started my brand. And that's why I have those components in place, because I think that that's like important. And like from a brand story, marketing, all of that stuff, I have all those components. So I know when I go to like find an investor, I know I'm going to be able to find one. I know my product's good. I know what I'm doing. And I'm excited about the journey. But like I know I'm not talking shit like on stuff, you know? Like I'm like being factual. Like I know like I'm not going to sell something that I wouldn't want to wear or that I don't believe in.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
It's, you know, I really feel that, because obviously with like making my things, I do the same way. Like I'm not gonna make anything that I don't believe
want to wear yourself.
Myself. Like
yeah,
I wear my shit all the time. Not because
I don't wear my shit all the time, and I think it's because like I need to start designing like more women focused for like I need to have stuff that's just for women, because I design my stuff for men, and then I'm like, oh, I like this tee. I like love my tees, but like I want it to be cropped or a little more fitted. So it's just like, okay, Rachel, then make one for women and make one for men.
It's funny because when I started, with my early stuff, I always had more girls buy my stuff. And the first person that ever put on one of my shirts was a woman. So I was always I designed because I want what this look on a woman, because that's what
and I do the same.
It's like that's what I see. Like
I do the same.
Obviously, like it's I view it as unisex, and it's, you know, I think everyone can fucking wear it, but it's just because that's what I see every time I make something. Well,
my customer base is like probably like 80 to 90% men. So I'm like, my customer base is men, like that's who's looking at my stuff. But I know that if I made stuff for women, like I have like girls hitting me up all the time about shit that I've like made or designed or whatever. And I know that like if I had it at the right price point, like I know that I could do a hell of a lot in women's sales. So it's just like I need to like figure out what that looks like from a business perspective.
It has a lot to do with timing as well. You have to make sure that the timing for the product is there, because you can't just throw shit out. It has to like fit into what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was having a conversation with someone the other day about like, I don't know what I was gonna say. Skip that. Skip that. It was really important though. God damn it.
Was it about having clothes specifically designed for women?
Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say though. I'm so ADD.
It's fine.
This is why I don't have my business plan together yet.
And the last point, you also brought up, everything that's going on, like having empathy in dresses. I wanted to tell you that I thought it was super, super tight that you were one of the first people to ask me to go protest with them. Or
yeah.
What was going on, because that shit was tight. Because most of my friends growing up were white, and I had, just because product my environment, but then like I obviously had black friends too. So my upbringing was a little different when it comes to people I've always been around, or if I've had, experiences and shit with, because I've seen things from both sides of the tracks, so to speak. But it was cool because you hit me up and I was like, oh shit, yeah, like let's fucking go protest. Let's use our voice. And I was very, very proud to see that you used your voice and your platform to say something and to speak what you had to say. I think it was very important that you did that, because you led by an example, not just because of who you are, but just because you chose to be on the right side of things and you believed in it. I think that's such a major thing, because a lot of people during that time were quiet who I thought should have said something. And I think that they would have said a lot more if they had people such as you around them using their platform to show them they can fucking say something.
Yeah, I think too, well, I feel like a lot of people, like in this whole pandemic and with like Black Lives Matter and like the whole, like being aware that systemic racism is real, I think that a lot of people were just like are 100% jumping on bandwagon like with it and doing it, because if they didn't, their brands and their brands would be canceled, like, but I think like the good thing about that is I do feel like us protesting and like me inviting you and like Lindsay and Lena, like it got like a lot of my white friends who were a little uncomfortable about maybe like going out and doing that, like it gave them the opportunity to be like, okay, cool, like Rachel's going to do it like with or without me, so why should I not just join her, like, and people were so scared, like, oh, I might have to go to jail. And I'm like, jail's easy, baby. Already been. I'm like, I could be there for another day.
Yeah, I have some homies in New York that are in jail every fucking week, like, because there's still a lot going on in New York that isn't being broadcasted and televised. Like, there's a lot of shit happening still.
Yeah, LA's like, we're like, no protests anymore.
Yeah, we have Corona shit in our mayor in our governor that's taken over that.
Yeah. So, but thank you. I really appreciate that. That's like, even with the shirts that I designed, like I did ask a lot of my friends that work at Nike and, that are higher up, like what they thought about me as a white person doing that. And like, at the end of the day, it was something I was going to do with or without my friends' approval, but it was nice to be able to have people that were giving me their honest opinions about everything. And then like, having like a lot of my shit, like I had already, like I told you about my homie, like from the Cardinals, like DeAndre, like I had been like telling him like I wanted to do shit. I'd been like sending him like pictures, like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Would you wear this? Like I was like okay, like you're one of the, like you're one of the people that I want in my shit. Like, and he was like, he like really pushed me. He's like, something like that's kind of been done, like don't do that, like you can do something better, like I know you're creative, like I know you're gonna be able to figure it out. And so like it was cool because I had like those people like rooting for me, and like everything around like that like release and everything, like especially with him, was like super organic, like, and it was cool having someone that's at that level, that's my friend that I look up to, like from a business perspective, you know. And like just that, like he's been out and he was out in the streets protesting, like he was doing the same thing. So it's like it was cool seeing my friends that have huge platforms like use their platforms as well to like actually say something and not be quiet, and then like not only that but like support me like that, like without me having to even ask, like I didn't have to, like that was all on their own accords. And like that just is like ugh, like that just means a lot. And that mean like that shows me that like my purpose and what I'm doing and what I did like does mean a lot to those people. And so it's cool. It was cool, like a cool experience. And it was like nice because like from start to finish, like DeAndre, honestly, like he was a big, he was like pushing me in the right direction. So it was nice to have someone who like saw my creative process on the back end, even though he's not like like he, you know, like he's not a designer, but like someone who could see everything that I was like doing and like to see it like come to fruition and have that moment and have it be on LeBron's story. Like that was just a cool moment for me. So that's all.
So but this hasn't been too bad. It's been a lot of highlights.
Yeah, it's like cool highlights. I just like, I think it too for me, it's with my first, you know, with my first collection, I had like I could paid to have PR and stuff. And so I had like, you know, I was in Forbes, like I got articles, I was able to gift, I was able to do all of that and had such good press. And like, for me, it's like not having all of those things for my second thing, like it just, it makes you like as a design, like it makes you like humble yourself. And it's like I want someone to write an article and like brag about me being a woman designer who's trying to break barriers, but like I can't force that upon people. And so it's like it just makes you want to push harder to like do more.
Fuel. That's the, you know, the light the fire under that ass. Like it's one of the things that people understand is, you know, once you have these moments of success when you're designing and having releases, you want to keep having that. And it's not necessarily always the easiest thing to do to keep that.
And it's not going to happen every time.
It's not going to happen. So you have to have those moments and just like to help refocus and add value to your brand and just keep going. So whereas now it's like, shit, this is what I had on this release. Let's fucking do this for this one. Like you just want it. It's the drive. And it's not always a straight line, but that shit is there, and it's what we need to fucking keep going, man. This shit's hard.
Yeah, it's like I had someone, you know, the combo. Some of the combos I've had, it's just like some of the combos I had, it's just like you have to like, whether you have money or not, like you just have to keep pushing and making stuff. Otherwise, like you're never gonna like be able to elevate. Like you can't just stand still. You have to keep it going. Keep it going. So I took like a, you know, a 3-year standstill, 4-year standstill basically. And because I couldn't afford to do it. And so now I'm like, okay, well, I still kind of don't really have, like, I don't have enough funds to just like continuously be pushing stuff out like that. But it's like, I know that I don't. So it's like, what can I do to get that? And now I'm like, okay, I need to be doing this, this, and this so I can get there, so I can make more stuff and have all my designs ready to go for when I do get that money, and like knowing exactly what I'm going to want to produce in my next like 3 collections and all that sort of stuff. Like just planning ahead too, because if you're like, you need to be able to show an investor, and you need to be able to show a business partner, okay, this is what I have planned for the next 3 years. These are the products I want to drop. This is what I want to do. This is where I want my brand to be. These are my competitors. Like, I think that a lot of people are just like, I want to have a brand, and they're not like thinking about like the deeper, like, okay, I need to have a brand with purpose, and like they're not thinking about branding their brand. Like, and it's like you're not going to have longevity if you're not doing that. Like, I want to have homewares like one day. Like, I want to definitely like expand. I'm going to be expanding to swim. I want to do like men's, women's. I want to do kids stuff. I would love to do kids stuff. Like little hemp onesies would be so
with
cute.
some ears on the top.
I'm like, little hemp, yeah, little hemp onesies. But like, I want to do all that stuff. Like, that's I want to be like a household brand. Like, I think that I could get there. I wanted like Fear of God's like a really big like inspiration for me, just because like religiously, like just everything that like Jerry's about, like I feel like I can relate to him a lot, and I like want to do that, but like on
your level, and what
on my level. So that's like he's like a big inspiration for me.
I always tell people, if someone ever asks me like if they want to start a brand or what advice they have, I always tell them, don't do it, but don't let me discourage you, because well, the thing is always, but I followed up with, if you want to do it because you think that you're going to quickly make money off of this,
you're not.
Then you're not, because
that's what everybody thinks,
for the wrong reason. You have to be in it because you want to build something and on a foundation and grow with it, and you have a much larger vision than what it is that you're able to do now.
Yeah,
like, I had a conversation with someone, and I was like, man, I don't understand like how you can design stuff and then sit on it for a year. Man, I have shit for 3 years down the line. But like you say, you have to do it because you never know who you may meet. You got to be able to show things. You have to have an idea and a plan for what you want to do. You have to play the long game with it. Doing it right now to make money?
Nah, I know. I had like a friend, a guy friend of mine who's like in the industry, knows like a lot of people. Like it is very well connected in the weed industry as well. And he was like, yeah, like I'd be so down to partner up. And he was like, to make a quick buck. And I was like,
nope.
I was like, this isn't a quick buck thing. I was like, I fuck with you, but like you obviously don't, like, I know that you know marketing, and I know that you know these aspects of it, but fashion's not the quick buck. Like, that's not like, you're never gonna get a quick buck unless you're gilding and doing massive quantities, but like at that still, you're not like, it's never a quick buck in fashion. It's like the long game.
Yeah, so that's how you fucking get backed up on orders and people start talking shit about you and they hype these comments. So with everything that's been going on creative wise after your release, where's your headspace at now? Like, are you planning stuff out for next year?
Why ain't my shit selling? Why isn't the rest of it selling? No, I think that I would like to, like, so I'm gonna get 3 swimwear samples, hopefully done within the next like 6 to 8 weeks. I like just hit up a manufacturer about it, because I'm probably gonna do that overseas. And then beyond that, I'm getting my deck and stuff together, probably right after I get off of this with you. Oh, so I'm gonna, like, after I get off this call, I'm actually working on my business plan and my pitch deck. So I'm gonna put a little pitch deck together, and hopefully by the end of the week send both of those to old girl, and then kind of see where I need to tweak it, and then go from there. I'm trying to get funding this year, so if I get funding this year, I'll produce probably like 6 more things like under this collection. I want to do like a sweatsuit, and then I want to do like a kind of like a pantsuit, but like not, but kind of. And then like I want to do a biker short for women, like the perfect biker short, because we need a perfect biker short. And then the bathing suits as well. And then like after that, I'll do my next collection, which I already have in works on like what I want to do with that.
Last summer, were a lot of the swimsuits you had yours?
No. But there's like a pink one, like a bright neon pink one that I had that I designed that I put up for a little bit. But it's like a very thongy, so like my butt was out. So I took it off.
I was gonna say, send me the picture, and I'm gonna put it right here on the.
I'll send you. Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
So people can see your swimwear coming.
Yeah, I'll show you. I mean, I did like a tube top and then a high waisted like thong bottom, which will be one of the pieces that I'll definitely be producing. So so I'm excited about that. And then I have I have a serger, so I've just been like sewing shit on my own. So I'm thinking of reworking, like I have inventory, so I'm thinking of like reworking some designs for a bunch of my tops and then seeing if I can sell those. But really looking for an investor and business partner and all of that stuff this year, like heavy. And I'm sure that I can find it pretty easily because I already told like one friend that I'm looking for an investor and he was like, I'll give you money. So,
that's always the best response. Shit, here, how much you need?
Yeah. And I have a couple friends that are like, that I know would probably give me money for like an investment, like for part of it, like part of my equity, which honestly, if I can get a couple people I know, which I know wealthy people, if I can get a couple of them to like invest and do like I have a good idea of like something I want to do with based on who I know. Like I want to do collections with like some of the athletes that I know and have it go to their charity. So like have them like not like co-design, but have like an influence on the designs and like have it be like a little collaboration so that they can market it, I can market it, they can get part of the sales. I'll put my part of the sales back into the brand, like, like doing it so it's like helping their platform, it's helping my platform, it's helping their charities. Like that's what I really, really want to do just because I have the network. So it's like use that to help build my brand.
Yeah, utilize it for sure.
Utilize it. And then I will watch them on the TV.
It seems like during everything, it seems like your focus on the brand might have like been readjusted or reshifted. So we're like you really
100%. Yeah. I feel like it was 100%. And I also did mushrooms that like over Christmas.
Hey, I was on for Christmas too.
And I talked to God while I was doing mushrooms and saw my future. And so like I know that sounds like, oh, you're just high, but I really feel like my brand is my purpose and that's what I'm meant to be doing. And I've had so many people around me telling me that I should just be doing that and that I'm talented. And I just like didn't want to believe it myself. And I think that like quarantine has given me the opportunity to be like, yeah, you know what? I am a designer. That is what I do. And like, that is what I'm good at. And that's what I need to continue to do. So
that's it. Well, I'm on your side. I think you can do it.
Woo!
Looking forward to see where you go with everything,
Wow, Arizona's winning. I don't know if I'm happy or sad about this.
Well, shit, thanks for hopping on a call with me. I'm sure you've had your fair share of Zoom calls over this last year and shit. So I appreciate your time.
I'm like, okay, well, thank you. I'm sorry if I babble too much.
No, it's not babbling. It's all just unfiltered, just raw conversations that I want to have with people. I think, especially now, we can't fucking see everybody and shit. We can't go kick it for real. We can, but not as much as like people in shit.
No, we can't because people get COVID when it happens.
So shit happens. So yeah, thanks for tapping in with me. when I focus about this is because of that. I want to just talk to people and have conversations.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.
I'll talk to you later.
Peace.